everybody, I'm Dweezil Zappa, and today on Guitar Power, we have Zane Carney. Welcome.
Thanks. Nice to meet you, man. I'm excited about this.
I don't actually have anywhere near the theoretical background that you have, which would be great to know the fundamentals so I could break the rules more specifically. You know?
Right. For some reason as a kid, I was into like magic and juggling, which are like sciences, sort of like, okay, here's how you deceive people, or here's how you juggle, I guess. But yeah, for some reason I get really excited by knowing, like when I go to see a movie, I'll analyze what's happening in the score and go home and figure it out, and then I'll see, okay, well I guess that could be analyzed these three ways. And if it's one of these three ways, that means I could branch off into that. Oh, that's a fun path to go down. And I just get
Well,
really
give me an
excited.
example of that,
Sure,
like with triads or something.
Totally. I mean, there was some movie, I think it was Lord of the Rings, my brother and I saw it, Howard Shore did the score for that, and there's a moment where Aragorn's on a horse, because he's, spoiler alert, I guess, if someone hasn't seen the movie yet, but he's on a horse. You think he's dead, and he's not, and the horse is riding him while he's sort of asleep. And I think that it's like a really minor triad moment with like minor nines, like the nines there.
Yeah.
And then right when he comes up over the hill, it just goes like parallel to some other minor key. Just straight up like, we're not gonna give you a 5 chord so you know the key's coming. We're not gonna go, we're just gonna like go there and you just need to be cool with that. And it was a really jarring moment. So maybe when I hear a song next time that goes 4 chord to 6 to 7. Maybe the next time the 6 chord happens, I'll make it minor, because maybe that's what the composer meant to do. So I'll go. So I played around with it that way. I just love figuring out why things are happening. It's really fun for me. I'm like not as good at certain things.
As long as you have some sort of strategy to get you there, and you know the
way in and out.
Yeah,
because then you're not like oh no, where am I? No man's land.
Well, because I find that sometimes with musicians that know just enough to be dangerous, like they know a few chords, and then they just start moving something like a half step or whatever they do. And sometimes they'll just put something in there that's just weird, and it could be just that. It's like, oh, I just like the way that sounds. It might not have any theoretical meaning.
Right. It's cool talking about this right off the bat, because I've had conversations with people who are deep theoreticists, I guess, or they're really into theory, and then I've mostly had conversations with musicians who either are anti-theory or they just don't want to go into it. Like, that ruins the mystique, that ruins the magic. And I sit somewhere in between both, because I think there can be a lot of beauty from just like someone feeling alive. And for me, I feel alive when I probe. And so if I ever work with a producer or a songwriter who shames that or judges that, I'm like, oh, this is the right fit. Because for me, I love both so equally. Like, I love Neil Young's lyrics. I love his lyrics so much. They excite me a lot. And I love Joni Mitchell's lyrics, and I love James Taylor's lyrics. But I also love sitting down super nerdy with my friend, like, I don't know if you know Thundercat, the bass player.
I don't know Thundercat.
He's amazing. You'd love him.
Is that his
That's his stage name. Yeah, his birth name is
well, because my
Thundercat.
name's Dweezil, for real.
Totally, fair enough.
So, I mean,
and Moon, right? Yeah. His real name's Stephen Bruner. But he does some incredible things, and then I'll sit down and nerd out with him sometimes.
So where did you learn this? You went to USC?
Well, when I was 12 years old, I discovered Wes Montgomery because my guitar teacher at the National Guitar Workshop, he said, Zane, I think you're really into theory. I said, why do you say that? He's like, well, I just taught like diatonic harmony the whole class, people aged 12 to 55. And he's like, you really seem to like this thing. So you should listen to Wes Montgomery and understand his diatonic approach to soloing and all that stuff. And I bought Smokin' at the Half Note and just went nuts. Like, this is it for me. Now music finally makes sense. There's actually a piece, I guess it's a pop song, in like 97, I think, by a guy named Jordan Knight. He was from New Kids on the Block.
Right.
The chorus is like, or the pre-chorus is, creeping around in my bed, me holding you down in my bed. You don't have to say a word. I'm convinced you want it. Just let me know and I'll give it to you. Your body needs a man like me. And the post-chorus goes like, creeping me out, giving you everything of mine. So like all these tricks were in it. I had no idea why I liked it. Discover Wes Montgomery and was like, oh my gosh, these are all the tricks Wes uses, just like in a pop song with like some dude singing it. That's amazing. I started to like learn through Wes why I loved Disney music and why I loved that Jordan Knight song and why I loved, a whole new world.
Something that created a feeling. It's a purposeful presentation that is supposed to take you somewhere.
Yes.
You know, sometimes that can be too contrived for some people.
Totally. Yeah.
But,
for me too. Yeah.
But it is a super effective tool. So whether you're doing it through what you call tricks, you know, it's still, you have a lifetime's worth of knowledge. That's why people should be paying attention to what you're doing, because you have a lot of these tools that a composer would use, but you're putting them in a pop context.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. That's cool. I'm learning also about how to use the voice as, because a lot of times the audience will be okay with the voice doing color notes. So if I play, but if I sing, the melody had the sharp 11 in it, but the audience is cool with it because the chord's normal, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's the 9 now, this chord. So like you said, it's not about getting tricks in, but it's about capturing a feeling without completely ostracizing an audience. Like, how do I do that? So I'm still trying to find that balance. And certain songs on the album, I'm not even trying to find that balance. I'm just going deep.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
You know, it's fun. I'm having fun with it.
And you're doing it with like a rock band arrangement?
Yeah, I just did my first full band show kind of ever as a solo artist. I used to have a band with my brother called Carney, and then I was just a lead guitar player. So my role was to like take just dumb guitar solos as much as possible and go kind of nuts and really explore. And I had freedom in that band to do that. All the pedals and the guitar nerd stuff, that was kind of where I really developed my own, hopefully my own sound.
But now you're working with John Mayer and a bunch of other people, so tell us how that all came about.
Well, yeah, and this next tour, I'm not on John's next tour, but I was on his last album, Paradise Valley, and on that whole tour, the Born and Raised Paradise Valley tour. Yeah, that came about because we have a mutual friend who told John about me, because John was looking for a guitar player that was sort of non-genre specific, sort of like, and I don't really, there are certain things I love. I do love jazz and I do love rock and roll, but I'd say the first 4 years of my career were all gospel and R&B and hip hop gigs. So I love all kinds of music, and he heard my stuff on YouTube and then asked me to come do the tour. So that was a really cool thing.
Well, that's definitely cool. Do you want to talk about some of the stuff on your pedal board here?
Yeah,
or
there's
how
some nerdy
you make
stuff.
the sounds that you like? Do you have like a signature sound that you go for?
I kind of have a few things that I'm sure other people do, but I stumbled upon without like hearing someone else do it. But I almost always have this Maxon 8999 on. It's a slapback.
Yep.
I mean, it's great for delay. It's a very rich delay, but I kind of like when things sound a little broken. So without it on, without the reverb, I like that. But then with the slapback, there's a little bit of like a janky slap. This thing is probably my most used gain stage. This is the HAO Rumble Mod. It's a Japanese pedal, and I got it a long time ago. But I use this on a guitar solo with my band Carney, a song called Love Me, Chase Me, and I use this. I mean, it's very, like, my whole idea of tone is like broken and maybe something's wrong with the guy.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing with fuzz, you know, because it sounds like that has like does it have a bias knob on it?
Exactly.
Something like
color, they call it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I gotta show you one more though, because this thing's so weird. So I'll put this on, the phaser, and then I'll put this envelope filter on, and then I put the pog on, and the pitchfork sometimes, and then the fuzz. So. Ha! Totally unnecessary, like crazy.
Yeah, well, it ends up sounding like an ARP synthesizer.
Exactly. No, dude, you're the first person to say that. Seriously, I have an ARP soloing at home.
And you, just from the short time I've talked to you, I can tell that it's not just a hobby of yours. Music is something that runs pretty deep in there.
Yeah.